welcome to Thursday, October 8th, daily video instruction. Okay, today we're going to, we were doing our first body paragraphs. If we didn't finish that, we want to make sure we're working on wrapping up that first body paragraph and moving on to our second body paragraph. And today I'm going to go over how to write an introduction and conclusion. I noticed that some students had turned in their graphic organizer already. So if you did, you need to unsubmit that and make sure you listen to this lesson and go through the slides and do the introduction and conclusion, how I guide you through doing it. This assignment is not due until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Does not mean that you should just not do anything each day. I've broken this down into smaller components so that you could just do a little at a time and you wouldn't be so overwhelmed trying to do everything at one time. So as our objective says, we're going to make sure that we can analyze how to make strong introductions by looking at examples of hooks and bridges and composing our own introduction, and realize what makes a strong conclusion by looking at examples of stemmed out responses and compose your own conclusion. Okay, over on this side, on our warm-up, you're going to write an example of each type of a sentence: simple, compound, and complex. Going to Google Classroom for today, when you go, there's nothing posted for you to do as an assignment, as a grade, because you will need to go back to your graphic organizer assignment, and where we had you did your T charts already for your 2 body paragraphs. If you haven't done that, that needs to be done. And what you're pretty much doing is taking your T charts and plugging those T charts into your 2 body paragraphs. And I'll come back to that in a moment. But again, this assignment is posted from yesterday, October 7th. So you'll have to go back to click onto these to access these documents. And again, we have the T chart and the graphic organizer. And this graphic organizer is going to be your essay. If we have time, which I do not think we will have time this week to, since we didn't start to Tuesday, I don't think we're going to have time to do a final draft where you take it out of the graphic organizer and write it out into one complete 5-paragraph essay. But you will definitely have to have all your writing done here. And I'll ask you to do some editing and revising, and you can fix that as well. But this is going to be a test grade. This is a major writing assignment, and it will be a test grade. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So here in the, this is for all students. These are actually handouts for you to use, and this will be helpful for your warm-up, where I have a document that goes through what the different types of sentences are, gives you some examples. So if you're not quite sure how to do a simple, compound, or complex, these sentences will guide you through and showing you how to do that. In addition to that, I have commentary words. These are good in helping you write commentary sentence. Transition words, which are going to be helpful for whenever you're talking about concrete details, or when you're trying to link things, show time, make any kind of relationship connections. These, for example, will be great for the concrete details. So you can always use this. This is going to be a resource that we keep and make sure we reference back to. And then today, when we go over introductions and conclusions, these are the 4 types of introductions I will be going over with you in the slides. And here are some examples of those types of introductions being used, the types of hooks. So again, these are just resources for everybody. So back to our slides. Okay. So go ahead and you can pause your video and watch this, what not to do in an introduction paragraph. Yeah, after you've watched the video, I'm just going to quickly recap about body paragraphs based off of what we did yesterday. So you have your claim that school should or should not start early because, and you gave 2 reasons. Your first reason was your body paragraph, and your second reason now is your second body paragraph. And remember, we're pulling evidence from the text that you read in class to help support that claim. So if you haven't done so, you would need to make sure we do our T-chart for our second body paragraph. You will write out the main topic of your second body paragraph. I'm discussing this with kids today in class. A lot of students were getting maybe a little too specific in their topic sentence. So if you can broaden your subject, like if you were saying something about it affecting the sleep of high school students, then maybe you could talk about as a broad topic about health. It has an impact, a negative impact or a positive impact on teens' health. And then you can go more specifically in your concrete details about talking about sleep. Or maybe you want to talk about sleep and something else that ties in with health that would fall under that topic. So that's just some things to consider. Remember, this is a sentence, and this is going to be a sentence, and then this is your commentary sentence. So all you're writing here is a topic sentence. You're giving what would you write for your two concrete details, each one's a sentence, and then explain how these two commentary sentences connect to your topic sentence. And remember, we always start commentary sentences with "this shows that" to help you explain. So just a quick recap, we have the topic sentence, two concrete details, commentary, and closing. And again, each one of these boxes is only one sentence. You shouldn't be writing more than one sentence in each of these boxes. All right, and then talked about all that. So again, remember, topic sentences, this is just a little lead that you could start with. Starting school later is positive because it should not happen. You do not have to use this as a starter. That was just there as a guide. But do make sure we use transitions when introducing examples so that your reader understands you're transitioning from a topic into giving something more specific. And then, of course, this is another transition into giving your opinion. So your reader knows that you're giving facts and details here, and then here your reader will know that you're about to state an opinion. Okay, so go ahead and finish your second body paragraph if you haven't done so, and then you can come back and go over the video with looking at introductions and conclusions. So you can pause your video and finish your second body paragraph. Okay, so for introductions, there's three components to an introduction. You have your hook, which is that sentence that's going to really grab your reader's attention. And we have 4 different types of hooks that you can choose from to use to grab your reader's attention. You have that bridge. That is that one sentence that touches on the hook and touches on the thesis statement so that there's a nice smoothness to your introduction. And of course, your last sentence is your thesis statement, is the claim, the position that you are taking on the claim. Okay, so types of hooks. So one of the first types of hooks we have is called a fact. So it's just giving something that is true, a true statement, something that's knowledgeable, maybe it could be something startling, but it captures your reader's attention. So here's our hook. On September 11th, 2001, the worst terrorist attack on America's soil left so many people helpless and close to death. All right, here's our bridge. However, out of the disaster, America witnessed a few ordinary citizens turn into heroes. Bravery is a characteristic that sets a person apart from the rest. So you can see how this bridge is a nice connection talking about the hook, but then also leading us to talk about citizens into heroes, which will lead us into talking about bravery. So again, this is a fact. This is a nice bridge that connects both the hook and the thesis statement. All right, imagination. A lot of students like to use this because they can paint, it's like kind of painting a scene for your reader. So imagine a world where there are no police to fight crime or no one fights the flames that consume people's homes. This world, this is a world no one wants to live. Bravery is important because it can mean the difference between life and death. So again, that's all you have to do when you do imagination is just like tell your reader to imagine something. I want you to notice though, in both of these and all of these, you'll see there's not going to be any first person I or third person you or your. That is not going to be accepted in our writing. We keep our writing always in third person. So make sure if you're ever saying you, that you say people, individuals, society, the world. Those are other ways you can say you. You don't address your reader directly, especially in an argumentative writing, because you're kind of you could offend the person that you were that's reading your article. All right, question. These are the. Oops, sorry, I skipped one. Snapshot. So snapshot is kind of like it's almost like imagination. You just don't start off with imagine. But it is kind of like a snapshot of a scene or a situation that you're painting a picture for your reader as well. The alarm rings through the schoolhouse. The men put on their suits, board the fire truck, and head on to an unknown situation where their life is at risk. Being brave can make the difference between life and death. So, do you see? It was kind of like it's almost if you take a picture and then you're describing what happens in the picture. So, we call that a snapshot. Again, there's no I, no you. Everything's written in third person. And question. So I know students are really great and like to do this. Like, have you ever, like, if a prompt says, have you ever been brave? Ask you about bravery. You don't want to ask a question that can be answered with yes or no. It's not thought provoking. You want to ask those open ended questions that make somebody really think. So, why questions are great because they don't answer yes or no. What questions or have you kind of questions are ones that answer yes or no. So you need to avoid those. All right. So here's our hook. Why does society value bravery? Notice there's so many thoughts that can go through your head just by asking that question. Instead of saying, have you ever been in a brave situation? I mean, that doesn't really make me think deep. So, why does society value bravery? Why do people cheer when men and women do courageous things in the face of danger? Bravery, it brings respect to those who exemplify it. So, those are just four very simple types of hooks, and then the example of the bridge that connects to the thesis. So, let's see if we can figure out what type of hooks these are. How can companies ensure their products are safe for humans before use? Before a product reaches the market, it must be carefully tested for safety and effectiveness. Researchers often use animals in their tests. Animal testing is justified because research benefits human life, and humans can learn more about animal health from testing. So, what kind of hook is being used here? We have a big clue going on right there. Of course, it's a question, it's a rhetorical question. And how questions are great. How can companies ensure this? I mean, there's just so much you would have to think about there. All right, here's another hook. The researchers carefully rubbed the lotion on the animal's skin, and within moments, the animal's skin began to turn red. She didn't like hurting the animals, but she knew that without these tests, companies could release harmful products into the market. Animal testing is justified because research benefits human life, and humans can learn more about animal health from testing. All right, so what kind of hook is being used up here? Researchers carefully rubbed lotion on the animal's skin. So that's a snapshot. That's as if we took a picture and we were describing what we were seeing in that picture. Animal testing dates back to the 2nd century Rome. For centuries, scientists and researchers have been testing procedures, medicines, and products on animals to determine if they may be safe and effective for humans. Animal testing is justified because research benefits humans' life and humans can learn more about animals' health from testing. Okay, so what kind of hook is being used here? The answer is fact. So we're given a fact about how it dates back to the 2nd century Rome. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to think which kind of hook do you want to use? Do you want to use a fact? Do you want to use a snapshot? Do you want to use a question? Maybe you want to use imagination, and write your hook about your paper about school should or should not start early. Then do a bridge and kind of maybe a little background info could be nicely tied into it, and then put your thesis. But make sure this sentence somehow touches and ties the two sentences together. All right, you can pause the video and watch what it says about from Schmoop about what not to do in conclusions. So conclusion paragraph is going to be pretty easy. We're going to take what we said in our argument 1, and we're going to kind of sum it up. And we're going to take our argument 2, and then we're going to explain how that emphasizes something in our claim. And then our last sentence, so it's only going to be like 2 sentences, we have the opportunity to end with like a perfect world scenario, a scary world scenario, or a happy ending. And for us, we're going to do this one, the scary scenario. So look at this. Saving the lives of innocent people and improving the health of animals emphasize the importance of continuing animal testing. I want you to notice, what do you see? What kind of appeal is being used, like saving the lives of innocent people and improving the health of helpless animals? Look at those charged words that have, some pull right there. I'm obviously pulling at your emotions there. So I am able to, here in this concluding sentence, appeal to pathos in your argument. So we don't want to forget, we've probably used a lot of logos, but we don't want to make sure we forget to add some pathos in there to kind of convince our reader. And then without animal testing, people cannot be sure their products are safe. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So we're going to restate your thesis here. So we're going to take your 2 reasons that you said in your body paragraph 1, and this is body paragraph 2. We're going to sum it up in some brief words or phrases, and we're going to say that those emphasize, and then what our thesis statement is, what we're trying to prove. So whatever your 2 reasons are, emphasize the importance of starting school later, or emphasize the importance of not starting school later. So you can use that as your stem. Okay, and if you have any questions or need any help, please make sure you are contacting me, letting me know. I only had 1 person in Google Meets yesterday, and I figured some of you might have needed some help. If you want to do a one-on-one meeting, make sure you also communicate with me, and we can work something out. But do not hesitate to ask questions. This week is wrapping up, and that means we only got 2 more weeks to the end of the 9 weeks, and this is a test grade. So you want to make sure you do a good job on it, because I'm not going to have any more tests. More than likely, there will not be another test this 9 weeks. So this is going to be your last opportunity to have a high major grade in the grade book. Okay, so you cannot afford not to do it. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day.